is?
Really just depends on what their matchup is and what their coverage is, and what way we can get to the best spacing, versus that. A lot of it has to do with either our lineup and their lineup as well, and that obviously changed throughout the game because of foul trouble, and sub patterns were different for both teams. So there's just something you're always kind of paying attention to.
Hi, Joe. Will Kristaps play tonight? And if he does, will he be on any kind of a minutes restriction given his illness?
He's probable. We'll see how he, goes through, his shooting routine, and whatever gives us the best chance to win. That's what we'll do.
Joe, you guys have been so resilient over the course of your time here, and keeping things in the day, game to game. You don't get caught up in that. Is that something you talk about with the players, or is that something guys like the leadership, like maybe Al or somebody else talks about with them? Is each day is a different day. I
think it's mostly them. We got guys that have been around a long time. Guys have seen a lot. 6, 7, 8 years. They've pretty much seen it all in the league. So I think a lot of it just comes from who they are and the character that they have.
Joe, you like seeing that the kind of the person that Drew is honored the same way for today, the way he was for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award, that his character is being recognized in addition to his basketball. Yeah,
I think that's important for the league, the players. I think that's something the NBA has done a great job of over the last 5-10 years or so, is having to understand that these guys are more than just players, that they're people too, and it's bigger than basketball. So we got a lot of guys with high level character, and it's great to see that get noticed, and happy for Drew.
Joe, after last night, there have been 4 20-point comebacks across the league in this postseason. I'm wondering if you see any trends as to why that is, and if you're in that situation moving forward, how do you prevent that from happening?
Yeah, I think that number was really high in the regular season as well, and I think that goes back to, to me, the end of the day, like regular season, playoffs, preseason, all the things that go into to winning a game, to winning an end of quarter, to starting a quarter, to playing ahead, to playing behind, like that process remains the same. And so I don't think it's any different than the trend that you saw throughout the regular season. A lot of it, a lot of it is within your control, obviously, with the way that you play. And there's obviously stuff that, because there's so many possessions, there's things that can happen. But I think the thing that impacts those stuff are the margins. The free throws, the rebounds, turnovers, and your ability to execute, over and over again. I don't think it's just a playoff thing. I think it's just the way how the game is now and how it's been, for the last few years, and with the speed and the shots that each guys are getting every time down the floor, and the type of talent that you have.
Joe, going back to Drew on the Social Justice Champion Award, I know he doesn't talk about the work that he does with his foundation that much, all doing with us, but is that something that you're, like, how much do you know about it? How much does he bring it up to you guys? Like, just the off-the-court stuff, how much does it come up in practice and just when you guys spend time together?
I don't know too much about it. I just know that he's a caring, giving guy. And does a lot for people. But I haven't gotten too much. I haven't gotten too far into that with him.
Joe, looking at the game one again, usually things aren't as bad as they look, but what was your impression of the second half offense, and was the second half defense any better? Like, how did you assess 2 days later the game one in the second half in overtime?
Yeah, to me it's about the process. I thought there was shots in the first half that we gave up to them that they just missed, and so I think you focus more on the process of what you do throughout the entire game, not chopping it up into just one segment and this segment. And I think that's just you have to look at it the holistic process oriented approach. And there's things that we did well throughout the game. There's things that we didn't do well throughout the game. There's mistakes that we made defensively in the first half that they didn't capitalize on. There's mistakes that we made in the second half that they did capitalize on. There was execution in the first half where we scored, and there was execution in the second half where we didn't. So at the end of the day, you have to focus on the 10, 15, 20 possessions that you have to get better at regardless of the result. And I think if you take a look coming out of that timeout when it's 72-52 and we lose some of their shooters for threes, and you lose Bridges above the break in transition, that kind of gives them life, and then now it becomes a tougher game. So just kind of focusing on that, regardless of the time of the game or how we're executing the game plan on both ends of the floor, Thanks.